It is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. This is another edition of Baseball Today. During the postseason, we are presented to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose of the John Boy Media Studios in the NYC. Producer Dan along for the ride as well. Oh, man, it has been a long day here at the John Boy Media Studios. It's so good to see the family. It was good to do the live stream. The result of the live stream was not what I anticipated nor appreciated, but doing it nonetheless was fun.
You might have anticipated that. You might have anticipated it. Okay, it wasn't what you wanted, but you anticipated losing to Gerrit Cole, probably. I watched a little bit of the stream. I tried to stay out because when I get on the stream on YouTube, I start typing in comments, and then I get wacky. And but it was good. You guys, that was a nice mixture. Bob didn't make it, huh?
Bob did not make it, much to the chagrin of some of our fan base here on Baseball Today. We just kept it small. It was just Jimmy, Jake, and yours truly. And it was fun. And I'll be back at it again later today on Wednesday as we bring you a live stream of the Phillies-Braves game too. But let's start breaking down the beginning of the divisional round. We had some wow moments. There's no question. No bigger one than the shot that ended the game between the Astros and the Mariners.
The 0-1. And Alvarez belts it deep to right field. Distant goodbye. Unbelievable. The Astros a walk-off win. Yordan Alvarez a walk-off three-run homer. And the Astros stun the Mariners in game one of the division series.
That dude is a wizard. Let's start with that. He is unbelievably talented. But I need you to be honest with me. When Robbie Ray came into the game, what was your reaction?
I thought I was live, bro. I mean, you could have seen my reaction. I was live during this, and what I said was, this is postseason baseball. Like, I love the fact that Service is making this move, bringing in the lefty, a guy with a big strikeout rate, okay? I thought he still might be slated to pitch game 3. I thought it was a bullpen type appearance for him in a high leverage one, but I think this is the plan. Service said after the game, he's had a few rough starts against the Astros this year. So they're trying to find a way to get him in there. Kirby's probably going to have game 3. It was the pitch selection for me, Chris, that just didn't do it. He goes heater in. And Yordan takes a nice hack at it. And I said, dang, he missed that one. That's probably going to be the only pitch he gets to hit. We're going to see some sliders down in the way, blah, blah, blah. He tried to get tricky and come back in with that 2-seamer. He just left it over the plate. And Yordan Alvarez is not going to miss that pitch twice in a row. It's just not. He had the timing down. If Ray gets the location, does Yordan miss that? No, he probably pulls it down the line for a double, but he got it too far out over the plate. He kept the barrel inside of it, and that thing was gone. It was a beauty.
All right. So I didn't like it, and I'm not saying that because of now. I said it to anybody that would listen when we were all watching the game together. And I didn't like it, A, because Robbie Ray can start walking the world, right? He gets wild. There's no question. Number 2, we all know that Yordan Alvarez is not your average left-handed hitter. Mm-hmm. Dude basically has almost equal splits. Righties versus lefties. It's almost a 1 OPS against left-handed pitchers. So, I mean, he doesn't have many at-bats against Robbie Ray anyway. I think he had 3 before today, something like that. He was also 1 for 7 against Sewald with 3 strikeouts. So it just, I mean, you saw how pissed his reliever was when he left the game. I'm sure he was upset at himself too. Hits a guy with 2 strikes, gives up a knock to Pena. But still,
brilliant at bat by Pena right there, too.
Yeah, it was.
Great swing. Right back up the box. Nice swing.
And, man, it's not over because it's 1 game, and you've got Luis Castillo going in game 2. But, man, oh, man, to be up that much on the road and to feel like you're in a groove and to lose it the way they did, it kind of sucks that they've got an off day today.
Yeah, I don't know. That might help them because this is a big blow, dude. I'm happy they have Castillo going for him game 2. I think that's exactly what they need. But you're right, man. To get game 1, to do it in the way that they were leading and they were just beating the Astros. That's what they were doing, dude. But the Astros are relentless, and they showed it again.
All right, let's move on to the first game of the day, which also wowed us. The Phillies, they hang on against the Atlanta Braves. With Wheeler and Nola going next on full rest, does it feel like Philly is in the driver's seat against the defending World Series champs?
I'd be lying if I said it doesn't. It does feel like they're in the driver's seat. The offense seems to be going. They're showing bunts. There's bunt attempts. There's sacrifice bunts. There's long balls. They're kind of doing everything. I did say, Chris, that they're going to have trouble, holding the Braves down when the bullpen comes in, and they threw a lot of relievers and they had trouble holding them down. They almost came back, Matt Olson with that bomb. So I think obviously they get game one. They have those two horses going the next two. That's great for the Phillies. I think, the Braves feel fine about where they're at. They've been here before. They came back. I think they'll use a little bit of that momentum against Wheeler, but I mean, momentum's only a word, bro. Like, you got to go out and beat one of the better pitchers in all of baseball. So I think the Phillies are in the driver's seat. There's something special going on there. And if that offense, they kind of continue to click like they are all together, they're getting Nick Castellanos going. They're looking good.
They are. They got some huge performances out of certain members of their bullpen. You mentioned kind of the potholes that they hit along the way to a 7-6 win. But I give credit to Brad Hand. He did a great job. Sir Anthony Dominguez has been really good so far in the postseason. If they can get kind of those middle guys, and you and I both talked about, we're not so sure that the closer is the right guy to be as the closer. He's given up runs in 2 of his 3 postseason appearances so far, and that can be really ugly. But yes, with the 2 guys they've got starting now in games 2 and 3 that are going to be well rested, Wheeler and Nola didn't give up a run in the first round in a combined 13 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks along the way. They're feeling as good as they can. And with the Braves, man, if Wright doesn't have it coming up later on Wednesday, and if Spencer Strider isn't right, who knows? The Phillies could just keep rolling offensively.
There was a play that I thought, oh no, the Phillies is going to backfire. I think it was Bilotti on the mound, and he got a comebacker for a double play ball, kind of zooed the throw a little bit. Acuna comes up. He gives up the base hit, and then Dansby ends up striking out. And they were within striking distance there. If Dansby comes up, I thought this was going to be what happens, but they kept it down. You're right. It's a couple of guys in the pen look good. I don't know if Eflin's going to last as a 9th inning guy there. I think Topper's going to have to make a decision on that. Yep.
That's a good call. Real quick follow-up on the Phillies. Harper and Castellanos combined for 6 hits. Nick also had that huge diving play in the 9th. What is it going to take for Castellanos to kind of remove the stain from his regular season, his first year in Philly?
Keep being himself, man. Like, he got interviewed during the game. He just kind of is Nick Castellanos. He's got, the confidence there. He's pretty funny, but go ahead and keep driving in runs. You don't have to make defensive plays like that. That was scary, bro. Don't do that anymore. I know you caught it. If that ball gets past you, the runner's at least on third base, maybe worse. Maybe the game is tied up, but still, hey, he made the catch.
He did not get a hit in the 2-game set against St. Louis. During the year, 21 fewer homers than a season ago. OPS down almost 250 points. He actually had a negative WAR. And some people will say, well, hold on. He was a little hurt this year, which he was, but he played basically the same number of games as when he had over 900 OPS and 34 bombs in Cincinnati the year before. So we know that the production can be there. I think he loves it, the fact he has a chance to hit this reset button, because he knows he's a damn good hitter. The defensive play, I don't know where that came from. Actually, I saw a stat that over the last 5 years that he has the fewest defensive runs saved of any right fielder baseball. It's like -19 or something.
He wasn't a Gold Glover at third base either, so it was pretty bad there too.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Quick reminder that Baseball Today is presented to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. And SeatGeek has got a great opportunity for you. If you're not familiar with it, it is an app you download on your phone, and it'll help you get the best seats around for Major League Baseball playoffs, for the NFL, for college football, for Pucks, which just dropped on Tuesday night, for the NBA, which is starting next week, for your favorite concert. In fact, we want to save you money as well. If you use the code word JohnBoy Playoffs, you're going to get 10% off your order, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. That's a big deal. Usually you have to be a first-time buyer. That's not the deal this time around. You can be a repeat customer. The cool thing about the SeatGeek app, and it's very easy, just go to the App Store and download it on your phone. They actually grade the seats on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 to 10. You're mocking me with my hand gestures, but this is how excited I am. Right? And they color code them. Green seats are good. Red seats, not so great. Green seats are good. Red seats, not so great. So you say, hey, is this one good? Is it worth my money? And they'll tell you, nah, go find something else. You say this one? Yes, that's good. So once again, download it, John Boy Playoffs. Get 10% off your order, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. It is that simple. We continue on. The Dodgers, they jumped all over Mike Clevinger out of the gate. They held on against the San Diego Padres in a 5-3 win. First of all, were you surprised that the bats came out that hot? Because the three other teams that came off the bye, it took their offense a little while to get going for the most part. And were you impressed with the 4 innings that Dave Roberts got out of his bullpen?
I think it's kind of a lazy take, but it's the Dodgers, and I'm not impressed by anything they do. I just expect them to be excellent now, dude. That's just what happens. We talked about Mookie Betts on his off-day bowling a 300. The guy can do everything. The Dodgers did look good coming out of the gate. And it was nice that the Padres battled back. Is this going to be like a Nola Brothers like playoffs? Like he's getting hits here. You know, Nola has a chance to do some special stuff in his series. I don't know, man. I thought the Padres had a couple chances there. They didn't end up winning the game, but they kind of have to feel good about the way they played. Like,
yeah, they came back nicely. I mean, it was 5-0.
Exactly. If that score ended up getting swirly and we were talking like a 7-0 loss, then I'm thinking about this series differently. I think that the Padres are here. I think they're going to give the Dodgers a good series. They got Kershaw tomorrow. It's going to be a tough one for them, but I like the way they played, dude. Like getting production from the bottom half of your lineup is great. And now let's get these other guys stepping up and things might be a little bit different.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Dodgers, I think, let me check the box. I believe they only got 6 hits on the night. Yeah, they actually had fewer hits than the San Diego
14
Padres.
in a row retired at the end of the game for the Dodgers, but they came out of the gate hot.
I was shocked that Urias was pulled after only 79 pitches. That must be a third time through the order thing, even though he's that good a pitcher.
They were talking on the broadcast about that's kind of what Dave Roberts has done in the postseason. It doesn't let the guys face the
that's
team.
Not what,
well, the Dodgers front office.
Thank you.
You know, they just don't want guys facing the order the third time through. It was interesting though, because he went Phillips, Vesia, Graterol, Martin. These are their guys. And I know none of them threw a ton of pitches. Vesia threw the most, I believe.
No, Phillips threw 26. Vesia actually did a great job.
He
got 5 outs on 19 pitches, which is really economical.
He was nasty, dude. He threw a nasty slider in on Kim that just tied him up.
Yep.
Was filthy. But I mean, if you're gonna go to these guys that much this early, like doesn't seem like a great strategy to me. He's banking on Kershaw having a long start and then the off day.
Yeah, 5-game series, you want to get that first one in the book. It just really changes the way. So I guess I understand it, but it really amazes me. Like every time Urias had one bad inning and that was it. And they didn't want to try and squeeze out a 6th inning out of him. They're like, no, you're good. I mean, hell, even Logan Gilbert got into the 6th inning in his first postseason start. And that's a kid that's untested. Urias has been along for the entire Dodgers ride over the last several years. It boggles my mind a little bit. I love what Trey Turner did. He did not have as good a second half as he did first half this year. And for him to go homer double right out of the gate was big. So I thought that was nice for the Dodgers. And then they just kind of hung on for dear life. So I guess it gets me to the next question, which is it's Kershaw and Darvish later on Wednesday. Do you expect Darvish to outduel this future Hall of Famer like he did another future Hall of Famer in Max Scherzer?
I'll answer it the same way I answered that question when you asked me then. I think they're both going to have good starts. I mean, Darvish has kind of been up and down against the Dodgers this year. He's had a couple good starts. He's had a couple bad starts, but he's been pitching very well as of late. But the Dodgers are just a different team, dude. Like, I just can't. We just have to keep saying it over and over and over. This team is different, man. They're relentless. The lineup is that good. So I see him being okay. I think both of them will be okay. I think these offenses are gonna start hitting the ball out of the park. I mean, Turner, you're talking about him. He almost had another one.
Yeah.
Profar made a catch at the track. I think this is going to be possibly an offensively driven series, and I wasn't necessarily expecting that coming into it.
Well, let's see here. Freddie Freeman is a guy that has destroyed Yu Darvish in his career. Over a 1. OPS, a couple of homers. Other than that, Clayton Kershaw's got good hitting numbers. It's 1 for 3 against him. Oh, he's not going to hit.
I'm looking now again. He's faced him 3 times. The first time, 6 innings pitched, no earned runs. And then he had the bad start, 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. And then the last one, which was on August 7th, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs.
Yeah. I mean, once again.
No, excuse me. I missed one. Then the next one, 7 innings pitched, no earned runs.
Well, I'm not going to bet against you.
No,
you being him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. And by the way, I think Clayton Kershaw is going to pitch great too. He's pitched great ever since he came back for the most part. And I think the whole Kershaw, some people still want to hang on to it's the playoffs narrative. No. I mean, like in 2020, pitched really well. He didn't pitch last year in the playoffs. Remember, he got hurt right before. That didn't happen. So for the most part in 2020, I think he had something like almost 40 strikeouts and 5 starts in the postseason that year. Pretty good. Was he dominant every time out? No, but he was certainly good enough. And I expect more of the same on Wednesday. I would expect them to pitch to a draw.
Okay. That's not really answering your question, but okay.
No, I like Darvish. I think Darvish is going to do a little bit better.
We both do.
Yeah. We got to talk about it. Yanks take care of Cleveland in the opener. Was Gerrit Cole the biggest story in his Yankees home playoff debut?
Probably, but I think the more fun thing to talk about is, we talked about this in our preview, who's going to be backing up Judge. And, he didn't do much today. He struck out 3 times. He got the 1 walk. And I asked Dan Rourke, I said, who is the guy that needs to go? He told me Gleyber Torres. Jake told me Anthony Rizzo.
I said that too.
Yeah, so I mean, it was nice to see Anthony get that homer. I think that's a big story. We have, not for you, but if the Yankees are going to do what they want to do in this postseason, it can't just be Judge. So seeing Anthony Rizzo swing the bat like that was very nice. Donaldson, who I said needs to come around, he had a nice game on the base pass. Not so nice in the batter's box. Very nice.
I mean, come on, dude. That's like the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him do that this year.
Well, where's Jeffrey Meyer taking that ball into the stands?
There.
Derek Jeter had him.
Yeah. He's probably bringing his kids to the game. That's how old he is probably now. That happened 25 years ago or whatever.
That's a tough one for Josh. I got to be honest with people, man. Like the line drive that Ramirez messed up. You can't do anything about that.
No.
And then, he hits that ball. It looks like it goes out. So he just started jogging. Now, did he see an umpire signal? I don't think so, but
supposedly he heard the music, like the home run music or whatever the hell that is.
Did it go on?
I guess so. I don't know if it did or didn't. Premature celebration. Getting back to the original question, Cole in the playoffs always seemingly has that one inning that can go one way or another. It can either blow up in his face like it did at Fenway last year, or he can work his way out of it and then get back to being the dominant Gerrit Cole, the reason they paid him over $300 million. And that happened in the 3rd inning here, right? Cleveland had bases loaded. Quan had already clicked him. So now bases loaded, the 5-6 hitters, 1 out coming up. He immediately gets Oscar Gonzalez to hit into a fielder's choice, and then he gets Jimenez. That was a good job by him. And that is, if you're a Cleveland fan, like I am, people will say, well, you're excited. It's 1-0. I'm thinking to myself, no, that's the inning. You got to at least get 3 against a guy like Gerrit Cole, or he's going to shove. And to Cole's credit, that's what he did. Now, for all the Yankee fans who are super excited saying, yes, that's the dude, we'll see. I mean, if the Yankees do get past the Guardians, I would fully expect Houston to be sitting there saying, yeah, we're not the Guardians offensively. So can you load the bases against a team like the Astros and get out of it? That's like, this isn't good enough to show me that you're worth the money with the New York Yankees. This isn't it. Sorry. As much as I love my team, they've scored 4 fucking runs in 3 games.
You're speaking like they're already gone, bro. And I don't like that as a fan of you.
No, I'm just, all I'm saying,
the Guardians.
But the question is focused on Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
And
look,
it's no fault of his own. He can only face the team that he's got to face right now. So I get that.
Gerrit Cole can pitch against anyone. I don't care.
Of course he can.
You know what I mean? And this is what's going to happen. Gerrit Cole is homer prone. There's no doubt about it. He can get clipped. Stephen Kwan, who hadn't hit a homer since when, Chris? You probably know his last homer.
No, he hit one late in the season, very late.
He had 6 homers on the year, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to get clipped from time to time. Now, how do you limit the damage? Well, make sure no one's on base. 1 walk is good. So Gerrit Cole, keep throwing strikes, keep people off the base.
Yep.
You're going to get clipped every once in a while, especially at Yankee Stadium. People hate when we talk about that park because I guess it isn't as much of a hitter's park as we think, but in my mind, it still is. So just keep the people off the base pass as much as possible and give up your solo homers. No one cares about solo homers, man. So those 3 runners that break the back.
No, he did a great job, and he pitched particularly well, in my opinion, against Josh Naylor, who is one of the few guys in Cleveland's lineup that can leave the yard. All right, last thing before we get out of here on the YouTube side of thing. You saw the kid's reaction down in Houston in tears, crying in his daddy's chest. They're losing, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait, things are starting to look better. And then, oh, wait, Yordan Alvarez hits a walk-off, and he's standing next to a guy who's in a Mariners jersey. Are we okay with the wide range of emotions on that young Sparky? Or are you like, hey, kid, clean it up? Like, you're too old to be crying at a baseball game.
He's not that old, dude. I coach kids that are young like that. The emotions that run through these young boys, it's wild, dude. I call it herding kittens instead of coaching, because that's what it's like, dude. You don't know what they're going to do at any given moment. So I understand this. And look, he just showed me he's a real fan. Times were dire. And then you see Yordan, like, well, times are getting a little bit better. And then Yordan comes through. It was a beautiful arc, man. I love stories like that.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I kind of feel bad that they're showing a kid. Like, I don't mind when the broadcasts show like adults who have their head like this and all that sort of stuff. Or there was they showed I think it was a woman at the Astros game. Her head was down. They showed her a couple times, I believe. Like, adults, fair game. Kids, you got to be careful. Like, let's not show them crying too much. I want to show them being excited. And I think they're kind of fortunate that the whole wide range of emotions completed its cycle. But if not, it looks kind of jerky by the network, I think.
You think Robbie Ray faces Yordan Alvarez again at all this series?
I think he will face him next year when the Mariners and the Astros play a bunch of times. Although not 19, more like 13 or however many they're playing the division.
That is wild, bro.
What do you have coming up on John Boy Media?
I don't know. A lot of stuff. Just
more
go check our YouTube channels.
Yeah,
We're talking baseball is going to be recapping all that good stuff. Yeah. I think Jake and I are doing it tomorrow morning.
I've got a live stream coming your way with Joe's and with Jake. We'll take you through game 2 of the Braves and the Phillies in that series from Atlanta. For our one-of-a-kind, very happy producer, Dan Rourke, and Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday on Baseball Today.